the Queen of Swords. So when the Queen of Swords comes up in a reading, you want to think about your perception. It represents clear-mindedness, and it also represents direction. The Queen's facial features in this card are sharply defined, denoting a keen mind and action with intent. Birds, clouds, sylphs, and butterflies symbolize the powerful mental abilities attributed to the element of air. Her firm grasp of the sword suggests her understanding of these energies and the correct use of their powers. Notice the bracelet she's wearing. It's a Victorian mourning bracelet, and it's displayed on her wrist, telling us of past hurts, past losses, pain, and grief. So a lot of times when the Queen of Swords comes up, it may come up for a widow, or it may come up with someone who has lost someone who is very important to them. And many times when they come up as the significator card, the first card, it usually lets me know that they're here to receive a message for their reading is a message that they want to hear from someone that's passed away. So the Queen of Swords is strong. She has a quality of rulership. At one time, the traditional interpretation of the Queen of Swords was actually a woman suffering loneliness and the loss of loved ones, and that sorrow wouldn't leave her. Her life was filled with grief. But today, we view the sword from a different perspective, because her loneliness and her aloneness does not indicate grieving loneliness. Instead, it suggests independence. The woman may be married or single or otherwise attached and still be represented by the Queen of Swords, indicating that she's self-reliant and on her own to a large extent within the relationship. She's free, she's individual, and she rules her life. Because she belongs to the sword suit, her intellect is highlighted. So she is strongly opinionated, analytical, and mentally astute. She has a quick, intense, and versatile intelligence, which she uses to make fair and well-thought decisions. Her head rules her heart. She analyzes her feelings and keeps her emotions in check. Gently but firmly, she counsels and guides those around her. Her unique ability to view both sides of the situation with depth provides her with the advantage of mental clarity and accurate judgments. Learning the mental pursuits attract this queen. So she's interested in the powers of the mind and its inner psychological workings. She can analyze and define, direct and concentrate, and she can move towards her goals and beliefs. Her motivations are towards action, experiencing life, participation, and educational accomplishment in achieving personal liberty. Her mind is her weapon in the battle of life. She can be sharp, critical, perceptive, and analytical. She may have experienced difficulties, setbacks, and life's problems. Her image is a powerful one, revealing that she has overcome her obstacles and risen above her enemies, who may be others in her life. It can also be her own emotional, physical, or mental self. This card represents fairness, equality, liberation, humanity, and education. Anything in the communication field, whether it's speaking and journalism to technology and teaching, are also other areas of interest for this queen. When this queen comes up, it represents taking a look at how you're viewing things because you're being prepared and called to make some kind of decision. So think about the message for the Queen of Swords as being honest. Be honest with yourself. Use your independent powers, and that you need to pay attention. So when you take a look at her sitting on her throne, she's actually looking off at the distance. She's looking into the future. And this represents the power of being able to see. So foresight, remote viewing. And because she has this power, no one can trick her or fool her. So the sword in her right hand is pointed towards the sky, where the left hand is extending like it's offering something. So the Queen of Swords gives us the gift of judgment for everyday decision making, but also having the flexibility to take in knowledge and energy from others. So when this card comes up, it represents an importance of making judgments without relying on emotions alone. So the Queen of Swords is asking you to look at the facts, but also make some kind of decision. So take a look, what other swords are in play, or what is the prominent suit in the reading. This card also means that you need to become independent and that you must rely on your decision. So don't let anyone else's feelings distract you, that you need to really keep a strong stand on how you feel in this reading or the situation that's coming up. Okay. It also represents you having to tell people the way it is. So honesty is big for this card. And when this card comes up in a relationship, it means that this person is quite picky about lovers. They want someone who is independent, and they also have boundaries. And when this comes up in a career reading, then it represents wise guidance, that there is respect and growth and positive growth. In a financial reading, it represents thinking clearly financially, moving in the right direction and acting with logic and responsibility and reason. It actually represents financial clarity. So when this card comes up, there's some kind of important decision that you need to take a look at and keep your emotions in check when you're doing that.